Hello! Here is a quick start video for the Bluetti generator. They technically call it a portable power station, so it's like a giant power brick, essentially. When you're using this, wherever you place it, you want to make sure that you place it somewhere where both of these sides are going to be open and have free ventilation. They can't be up against a wall because these areas are eventually going to have little fans that kick on and help keep it cool and prevent it from overheating. And if you block those, it will overheat. Moving on to turning it on, you're just going to hit this power button right here to turn it on, and it's going to start up. This is essentially how quiet it is. It's silent. The loudest it's going to be is when the fans go on, but it's still a quiet hum of a fan. As you can see looking at it, it is at 61%. I'll charge it tonight since it's at 100 for you, but just go to store these things at like half power. Going here, you can see it says DC and AC off. It can do DC and AC output. You'll probably only be worrying about AC output at your party. And then going up here, you can see that it has like a maximum wattage. So you don't want to do over about 2,000 watts. And then you'll also get a longer charge if you keep it at like 50 to 75% maximum load. I'm not sure what the output's going to be on the things you have there, but I can say my furnace is like about 400, my fridge is about 500, so I'm not sure what you're going to be running. Going back to this, when you're ready to use it, you want to go here where it says AC off, you want to click that and go to AC output on. So now it is actively putting out power. You can see here how it has that on, and it's kind of like waiting essentially. To use it, it's just like any other, plug-in outlet. It has normal plug-in outlets here, along with a plethora of other types of outlets. So when I plug in something to the outlet, you will see that over here, it's going to eventually get a reading, and it will actually tell you how many watts it's outputting. And almost everything that you plug in is going to have like kind of a bit of a range, but just keep an eye on it and make sure you're not pushing that. This is, you can see 50, probably up to 60 watt output. So make sure you're not pushing that 2,000 watt. This does have an internal breaker, so it should like shut off if you overload it, but you can hypothetically cause internal damage. So just be careful with that. Then moving on, if you want to charge it, you'll want to leave like the actual Bluetti on, but you'll want to turn off like the output. So you want to make sure that both the DC and AC output are off, because there cannot be power output while there's power coming in, at least for like the traditional charging. So this is what the charger is going to look like for that, for like a wall charger. It's kind of big and bulky. And this one also is going to have a fan on it right here. So you want to make sure when you're charging with it that that fan also has open access and ventilation, because that can overheat. And this fan is actually a little bit louder than the actual machine itself. So just heads up there. And then for plugging that in, it has a little plug-in that looks like this. And it's just going to go down here on the side over here where it says input. So that's one way you can charge it. And then another way is going to be you can charge it with a car, a car thing if you wanted to. Or it does have the solar panels like I was mentioning. Ironically, I actually haven't used the solar panels, but this is the hookup for it. So this is the part that goes into the Bluetti here, the blue part. And then this other part goes into the solar panel over here. And then you just, plug that in into the solar panel. And then the solar panels, I have 2 of them I'll send. They plug into each other, so you can just daisy chain them together that way. And I also will send you an instruction manual so you can reference all of this, especially if you do the solar panels. And the solar panels, as a heads up, need to be kept dry. And the whole machine needs to be kept dry. It can't be out exposed directly to sun. So you want to keep it in the shade so it doesn't overheat. It is kind of susceptible to getting warm in those situations because it is so much power into such a small machine. But the solar panels are meant more for like camping or like summer days, so they're not water resistant, so they can be easily moved. So just make sure that those are protected and don't get wet, because it will ruin them. That is about everything. Again, basic reminders, don't go over 2,000 watts about. And then also just make sure you turn on your correct power output. So AC is going to be what you need. Make sure, power output on. Now we're running AC. Also make sure that you have this power button on when you're charging. It's kind of silly, but it won't let you put power in if it's off. So this is what an off machine is going to look like. It'll power off in a second. But you can see I turned it off. So if you plug it in this way, it won't charge. Now I'm turning it on. You can charge it now, but there's no power going out. And then if you put power out, you can run all your electronics, but don't charge it while that's happening unless you do solar panels. Because solar panels, I think, are such a slow input, it can handle both loads at the same time. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck and congratulations on the wedding, guys.